What if I told you pagers, yes, pagers, became deadly weapons in Lebanon this week? Modified walkie-talkies and pagers caused chaos, killing dozens and injuring thousands. But who's behind this? Let's see how these old-school gadgets turned into instruments of terror. Stay tuned! This is the pager explosions in Lebanon. First, let's start with the question of what happened across Lebanon. What happened? The first attack started on Tuesday with a series of explosions in Lebanon aimed at Hezbollah through modified walkie-talkies and pagers. The attacks began in Beirut and several other areas of the country around evening 3:30 local time. Videos showed the bloody aftermath on streets and public spaces. In one CCTV video, a man was picking out fruit in a supermarket when an explosion detonated, leaving him groaning in pain on the ground, clutching his lower abdomen as panic broke out around him. Eyewitnesses stated seeing greenish smoke emitting from people's pockets, then small explosions that resembled firecrackers and gunshots. These explosions persisted for roughly an hour, while numerous individuals turned up at hospitals all over Lebanon in a state of, as it were, collective hysteria. At least 32 people were killed and thousands injured, many severely, in blasts to communication equipment, including those from Hezbollah, in Lebanon on Tuesday and Wednesday. In the latest round of blasts on Wednesday, exploding walkie-talkies killed 20 and left at least 450 injured, as reported by the Lebanese Health Ministry. The explosions happened near a large number of people who attended the burial of 4 victims of the Tuesday pager blasts, which claimed the lives of at least 12 people and left some 3,000 injured. The militant group attributed the loss to its foe, Israel. Israeli officials have not voiced their opinion on the matter up to this point. The two firms from Taiwan and Hungary, mentioned in the media reports as involved in producing the pagers, have denied any involvement, while the Taiwan government stated that the different components of the pagers were not made in Taiwan. What do you think about the idea of pagers being used to launch deadly attacks? Is this something you have ever thought about? Who would do this? Israel has been widely accused of responsibility for the raids on Hezbollah's communication equipment. Some unnamed US and Israeli officials stated to Axios that the idea was to explode the pagers at once as a first step of all-out war against Hezbollah. But this operation took place earlier, as the authors of the plan feared that the militant group might know about it. In the past, the State of Israel has developed different gadgets to monitor and eliminate its adversaries, and the size of this assault is said to be unmatched in the eyes of analysts. The explosives expert Alex Plitzas opined that Israel might have received information that a consignment of pagers was being sent to Hezbollah and so interfered with them. Hezbollah accused its enemy, Israel, of the attack, while the Lebanese government has also claimed the incidents as criminal Israel aggression. Nonetheless, no official from this Jewish nation has responded to the claims thus far. The bombing has led to a heightened conflict between Israel and Lebanon, as Israel assails the country with extensive bombing after the pager blasts. The vague nature of the incidents has created panic among Lebanese citizens in regard to the safety of their electronic devices. Do you believe Israel is behind these attacks, or could there be another explanation? Why does Hezbollah use pagers? Hezbollah has relied heavily on pagers as a low-tech means of communication to try to evade location tracking by Israel. Pagers are wireless telecommunications devices that receive and display alphanumeric or voice messages. They are much harder to track than mobile phones, which have long since been abandoned as simply too vulnerable, as Israel's assassination of the Hamas bomb maker Yahya Ayash demonstrated as long ago as 1996, when his phone exploded in his hand. In February, Hassan Nasrallah directed Hezbollah fighters to get rid of their phones, saying they had been infiltrated by Israeli intelligence. He told his forces to break, bury, or lock their phones in an iron box. Experts now say the directive, issued during a live televised address, may have forewarned Israeli intelligence operatives that the group would be seeking a new, likely lower-tech, method of communications. How have Hezbollah, Israel, and the world responded? It has, however, been sad to see violence increase in Lebanon after such attacks, and the international community has been highly concerned. Some of the countries have requested that all parties involved should avoid provocation, while others have appealed for dialogue since the region is prone to more upheavals. The United Nations has called for neighbors to fully support themselves and collaborate on matters associated with security risks arising from these attacks. International actors with a geopolitical interest in Lebanon's stability are closely observing events in the aftermath of pager explosive attacks. This relatively unknown militia is most likely causing the original backers, such as Iran and the recipient country, Israel, to rethink their strategies based on the new realities. The United States has also chimed into the conflict, offering support to Israel for its defense rights. Washington's position is indicative of apprehensions about Iran's influence through proxies, including Hezbollah, and speaks volumes on its stance on stability in the region. Are Lebanon and Israel at war? Is this situation a prelude to a full-scale war, or can it be diffused before reaching that point? While the airstrikes, attacks, and rhetoric from both Israel and Hezbollah suggest they are in open conflict, neither side is calling the current escalation a war. The head of Israel's military, Herzi Halevi, said it is preparing for the next phases. And Netanyahu, in a televised speech, told the people of Lebanon that his country is not at war with them, but with Hezbollah. Can Lebanon find stability after these attacks? Pager's explosive attacks in Lebanon harbor a new disturbing form of action against Hezbollah, which demonstrates a change in tactics that fit modern warfare in terms of mobility and invisibility. After these events, tensions experience escalation. Thus, all stakeholders, state and non-state actors, regional and global, need to address both emergent threats and skills that jeopardize stability. This event also serves as a reminder of the volatile security situation not only in Lebanon, but also in other countries in the region. Furthermore, this also points to several unmet important needs for integrated and systematic approaches for new threat handling and for starting the dialogue between the conflicting parties. Without such efforts, Lebanon could be heading to further devastation following a spike in violence caused by new trends like these pager explosive attacks. What do you think will happen next in Lebanon? Will this conflict continue to escalate, or is there hope for peace? Moving on from this incident, it is important for the people of the communities of Lebanon and other spectators globally to fully understand the dynamics that exist in the Lebanese socio-political context as they look for means of achieving a more stable society, free from the rampant violence that characterizes most of the Middle Eastern nations. This version incorporates details from the sources you provided together with an elaboration on other aspects regarding the pager explosive attack in Lebanon. What do you think will happen next in Lebanon? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share it with others, and hit that subscribe button to stay updated.